Greetings guys, Jay Smith here, down at a really cold Berry Golf Range in Suffolk. It was winter time, it's windy, cams are weighted down, buffeting possibly, apologise for that if it happens. However, Taylormade have released another set of drivers, 2022. It's now called Stealth. Although it's not very stealthy when it comes to the look of the back, because it is quite shiny with the old chromy bit. You've got a little bit of black, you've got a bit of red. You've got a stabilising weight bar at the back. You've got a little weight, a little track at the bottom with a 10 gram weight, and that's quite cool. We'll go into that one later. But the biggest thing is that red face. It is a very red face, and apparently I'm hearing you can customise the colour to your delight. Yeah, it's red. It is very red. It stands out. Taylormade are brilliant when it comes to marketing. Obviously, Taylormade, Tiger Woods have a partnership, we'll call it. And when Tiger come back, had a little bit of an outing. Obviously, world wants to see Tiger, and of course, put something like this in play. The red, it was just a perfect move from Taylormade. Well done, Taylormade, because they are one of the kings of marketing. So let's have a look at this. Now, I've hit that one there, and I will say one thing about the sound. Well, there's a reason why this review's one day late, because I wanted to see what other people were saying about it before I put mine out there. And so when it comes to the sound, people are saying that because it's carbon, they're expecting it to go dead. And if anything, it's slightly tingier. Now, I've got this in the Plus, the one with the lower spinning option. Why? Because it will suit me better. They do this also in two other models. They do it in the full-on, like the Max version, and they also do a high drawy one as well. Now, when it comes to the forgiveness side of things, do you know what? I've done all the testing already, and we'll see that at the other half of the video. We'll go in my custom fitting studio, and I'll explain just how forgiving this thing is or isn't when you hit it away from middle. Because we all know these things are going to perform from the middle, but when you don't hit them at the middle, which most amateurs don't, that's why doing the testing there, we'll see when you hit it from different parts of the face, how well it works or it won't. So yeah, stick around for that little bit there though. But we are talking about a boatload of technology in this thing, and that carbon face. 60 sheets of carbon fibre goes into this face, apparently. And it has this rubberized coating on the front. Now, the Taylormade are saying this rubberized coating is for consistency of spin off tee shots when it comes to a wet or a dry ball. Now, the ball's on a tee, and generally speaking, the ball's in your pocket beforehand. I haven't in my whole entire time noticed any difference whatsoever in ball dynamics based on if it's got a little bit of dampness on it or not. However, I am saying that from a pure logical point of view, this is a carbon fibre face, 60 sheets of it, and titanium. You know, guys, that you've had your worn drivers from some time. I've got my old Ping G30 LS Tech over there, and I'll use that after this one so I can show you something. The fact that the faces get scratched over time with people's deliveries, etc. Now, that's great on a titanium driver because of the fact that it wears quite well, as time has seen over the decades. But with a carbon face, I'm not quite certain how it would work going forward if it didn't have some form of protection. Now, whether that's right or wrong, that's just my logic coming out, and I might be completely wrong. But yeah, anyway, so you got the carbon face, that's done, and you can have it in different colours other than the red. You've got this different sole plate colour scheme, we'll call it. It's a similar shape or design, should we say, than Sims, etc. We've still got that AIG, ASIM down there. So effective for aerodynamics, we'll come to that one as well, because this thing does travel 2 miles an hour faster with the same amount of effort that I put into others. There's a star on that, which we'll come to. And we have this movable weight. And what I have noticed with this movable weight is that if you have a tendency, we'll hit this one. Caught here, pigeon. That'd have been a birdie. Ta-da! I'm here all week. If you have a tendency to hit the toe or the heel, you can move that 10 gram weight. I've done the testing already. It works very well. As long as you're not extreme. If you're hitting it right out, no, it won't work. But if you're hitting it slightly out the toe, slightly out the heel as a generalized pattern, by moving that weight, it's only a 10 gram weight, but it is quite close to the face, that if you move it in line with your strike point, it does take away curvature. It doesn't really do anything for changing the rotation of the mass, so it won't really do anything for face angle. I have tested. It may be different for you. Go test, obviously, but it hasn't for me. But it does make a difference in curvature when you do hit it off a certain point on the face, when that is in line anyway. So well done, Taylormade, for making the weight work. So again, when it comes to that, it's fine. Now, it's got a matte crown, and down by the golf ball, it looks very similar when it comes to the matte crown to the new Rogue ST. If anything, the new Rogue has got a slightly more matte. This has got a fraction more shine to it. But I mean, it's just, they say stealth, and it does have stealth in the top carbon weave. And if, generally speaking, you can't even see it, you have to get quite close to actually see the stealth embossed in the crown. But let's do a bit of fun. So you heard 2 shots there. What I'm going to do, I've got my G30 LS Tech over there from donkeys years ago, and I'm going to go hit this one now to really kind of reiterate to you guys exactly what titanium heads used to sound like. I'm back with the old LS Tech. And one thing I will say straight away is this thing feels heavy. From going to that to going to this, it feels heavy. Now, going back to what I was saying when it comes to that, those things are, or those that Taylormade, I'm swinging about 2 miles an hour faster than most. Now, I've weighted the heads as in a case of I have took the heads off and physically weighed them, and there is, shall we say, between this ping and that stealth, there's nearly 10 grams difference. That's a lot of weight when you're on the end of a long stick. And this is a short shaft. This is my custom fit shaft from donkeys years ago. So this is a slightly shorter shaft, and it still feels heavy compared to that. Anyway, so let's go give this a hit. And then shaft, there's not much difference in shaft weights and stuff. So guys, before you jump on the old bandwagon, this is a shorter shaft anyway, so swing weighting should be lighter. Yeah, we'll go into it. It doesn't matter. You understand? Anyone who knows about kind of, workshop kind of things, no problem. Listen to this. Everyone knows you're hitting the ping or hitting a titanium driver. Did listen to that? So that was that loud. This was the last shot that I hit with the Taylormade. There you go. That's the difference. I really hope the camera's picking that up, because that is a very audible difference. Extremely audible difference. So when it comes to the face, no, it's much deader. The carbon body, the carbon face, it's much quieter. Now that one's gone a little bit further because I did dial the old girl up a little bit. And why did I do that? Because obviously I love the sound of it, and I wanted to make sure it's, So let's do the same thing to the old Taylormade. So it doesn't seem that the old G30 LS Tech goes further than the, So let's go dial the speed up a bit. Let's go down and give it the same amount of oomph. I'll tell you what, the more I hit this, the less I'm even noticing that red face, which is fairly garish to start with. But the sound is lovely. I mean, if you go from that to this, the sound is dramatically different. Just so much softer off the face. Oh, Taylormade, you made a good driver. Now, last one, before I go in there and show you the forgiveness data. Now, we just said about the fact that obviously it comes in 3 different heads, yes, we know, and the Max as such, the normal Stealth, the Stealth Plus for the low spinning option, because it has got that weight a bit further forward. This is a very forgiving driver. So I'll go do that bits and pieces in there already to show you just exactly when you hit it off certain parts of the face, which amateurs will do. This is not only just for people which are going to be tour players. Amateurs are going to use this because they're going to want a certain thing. My own issue, ball fell off the tee, apart from that issue, my own issue with this driver, and I'll stick it out there now before we go in there and do that, it's £500. Yeah, £500 or £499. So, but let's not argue over a pound. It's a lot of money, and when it comes to most people, £500 is a lot of money. Some people, 500 quid would fall out of their pocket and they won't care, and they'll buy this tomorrow. Well, they won't, because it's not out for a little bit, but you know what I mean. For most people, 500 quid's a lot. And I understand that development of technology such as carbon faces does cost quite a bit of money. I get that. I completely understand that. I do. I just don't understand why the prices of drivers and everything else has to continue to go up and up and up. And why? Why? I don't know. Because it just takes buying stuff out of people's reaches. And so the certain type of people with a certain amount of money that do certain jobs possibly can afford it. It's not right, personally, in my own head. That's my rant over anyway. But I got to admit though, Taylormade, you've made a blooming good feeling driver. Definitely. Last one. Do you know what? I could game this. I definitely could game this. I like the feel off the face, that carbon, ness on there. Obviously, Taylormade must have put this through rigorous testing, because people are saying about, well, how long is that carbon face going to last for? They must have put it through rigorous testing. Of course, you've got that protective rubberized coating that's obviously not there for that purpose anyway. So let's go in the custom fitting studio. I want to show you exactly what happens when you don't hit the middle. So guys, amateurs out there that are going to be buying this driver, you are not going to be hitting the middle every single time. So there's going to be times when we all don't hit the middle. We need to know how potentially it's going to work when you strike it from not the most efficient spot. So let's go in the custom fitting studio now and let's go explain just how well this thing works. So guys, now in the custom fitting studio after hitting a load of shots, as I normally do, loads and loads and loads with the Taylormade Stealth Driver. And conclusion kind of first. Now, it is distinct, that red face, and I'll be honest, after hitting a load of shots, and you guys know I like hitting a load of shots because I like picking out all the shots that we check out for the forgiveness side of things, because if you can deliver fairly normally and then just miss-hit it, and monitor that, you can get an idea of you guys when you miss hit, will this work or not? Anyway, so red face. Let's get the red face thing out of the way first of all. Now, after a while of hitting, I must admit I paid no attention to it whatsoever. It didn't bother me in the slightest. It was very striking at the start. Not something necessarily that I would like on my driver. I would say straight away it's just too glarish. But then saying that, after a while of hitting it, absolutely paid no attention to it at all. None. When it comes to the rest of the golf club, Taylormade over the last few models, iterations, have, in my opinion, again it's my opinion, they kind of look a bit, especially from the sole and the Sim 2 and the Sim, they look a little bit kind of plasticky or moulded kind of, and it's everyone's opinion. Some people love it and some people don't. I mean, it makes no difference whatsoever to the performance of the drivers, and generally speaking, they perform brilliantly. A Taylormade, any kind of premium manufacturer is going to perform really, really well. It's just the new tech of, let's just go, the face. The face is the most visual part tech, the carbon face. Wow, it is quite distinct. It's a quite distinct feel as well. Yes, it's not like the carbon feel that I was expecting to see. But anyway, so let's go have a look at some of the numbers here, because I've got quite some interesting ones about the old twist face, and everyone likes twist face, even though Cobra, I think on the Amp-Cell drivers, had twist face before Taylormade, but yeah, comment below. Anyway, let's go have a look at the numbers. So on average, ball speed we are talking for the Stealth. I love it when they use these terms. Okay, so the ball speed is 158.6. Now, remember guys, generally speaking, I'm going to be hitting this a bunch of times in different spots. So this is the average ball speed that I'm going to get with miss hits as well. So you're going to see, if you see a lot of the tablet data on there, there's quite a few times there I dropped right down. Why? Because of the fact that I'm purposely trying to miss-hit it as bad as I possibly can do whilst keeping delivery the same to test forgiveness. But yeah, so 158.6, if I was middling it, it'd be well into the 160s, 13 degrees of launch and basically 2000 spin. So quite decent numbers when it comes to spin. I'd like it launching slightly higher, but then again, you can see by some of the miss-hits that I've done, that will artificially, you got the idea. Anyway, 8.7 yards offline, 32 yards in the air, and 279. So, if we go look at the club data, I will then look at some of the forgiveness side of things, because again, this is an amalgamation of all the good and the bad and the, yeah, damn right, horrible. So, if we go to the club head data, 110 miles an hour, trying to keep swing speed. Now, I've been trying to keep swing speed around about the 108 mark, give or take. Now, I was trying to do the same thing on this. Now, what I need to do is I will, if I can, measure the head, as in the weight of the head, because I was trying to swing this about 108 and I had no problem whatsoever popping up to 110. And it wasn't because I was trying to hit it harder. Now, I need to measure the head in weight to see if they're actually making the head lighter. If they're making the head lighter, obviously mass travels through the air, light and all this lot, I might be able to swing it faster for the same level of effort. Now, there are some claims around the internet that ball speed gain of this and ball speed gains of that. Well, generally speaking, guys, when it comes to ball speed, that's been governed for a long time. Even if you go back to the days, I mean, when the videos were terrible that I used to do years ago, but I'd done the M3 and M4 when they came out. And if you go like for like, there is not much difference now between the differences between the Stealth, brand new 2022 driver, against the M3 and M4. That many years ago, we're talking like 4 years ago, give or take. So there's not that much difference. However, what I would say that the numbers that you're going to see from here are comparable to the M3, M4. The difference is in the M3, M4, I'm trying to hit out the middle, I'm trying to see how well it performs. And this, I'm trying to hit it in all different spots. So is there a gain? Definitely, because obviously I'm hitting the same or very, very similar numbers when it comes to distance, etc., including the bad ones. Yeah, so anyway, 110 miles an hour, 6.4 up, 0.4 from the inside, 0.4 closed, 1.4 toe up, 18.1 degrees of launch, and 10 mil toe, 2 mil low on average. But bear in mind, guys, again, that's me messing about. Talking about messing about, let's go to a few of these, because there's some interesting ones. Remember, this has got twist face, and everyone likes a bit of twist face. So, first one. This one's above the data set. You can see a certain amount. I hit a load. Yeah, you unfortunately scroll through the screen. So anyway, path 0.9 from the inside, face 0.5 closed. So delivery, we would say within reason, very good. Impact 2 mil high and 15 mil toe. So effectively that is gearing left. Yeah, through strike alone, that is gearing left. There you go. Now this has got a movable weight on the back. And if you were to, for me, I am generally speaking, if you look at all the mishits and everything, I'm averaging slightly toe, just move the weight slightly towards the toe. It may slow the face down a little bit, but also it will move the effective middle slightly more toey, so you get less gear effect left. That's fitting, get custom fit. But it's doing exactly what I would expect it to do with that strike on that delivery, is gearing left. Go to the next one, 1.7 from the outside, 1.8 open. This is going to be a fun one. This is a very heely, very low miss. Path from the inside, face open. Everything says here, please go right when it comes to delivery. But bear in mind, this has got twist face and it's got quite an aggressive twist face. It's 14 mil low, 26 mil heel. There is not much golf club left. Now, did we lose a lot of distance? Oh yes, we lost a lot of distance. But you're going to with that kind of strike. But the important thing for me when it comes to this, look at the strike point, offline 1.1. That is it. For that strike, that delivery, well done, Taylormade. Very, very, very good use of twist my face. Right, another one, heel miss. So this is slightly higher on the face, but very so much heel, 22 mil heel. Path 0.9 from the inside, face open by 0.9, so baby little cut idea. But because I hit it 2 mil high and 22 mil heel, it started left and then cut right. Yes, it will do because of the strike and slight open face, but it's ended up 2 yards offline. Well done, Taylormade. There we go. So the examples of where twist face and gear effect work well. Let's go the other way around, the toe side of things, shall we? So path 1.4 from the inside, 0.3 face close, so baby draw kind of idea. And then I hit this 17 mil toe, so 3/4 of an inch away from middle, which is quite a lot. Is that gearing left? Of course it is. Yes, it is. But it's starting 2.4 degrees right because of the roll and bulge on the face. Twist face, not quite so much because it's not quite there, but roll and bulge is doing its job. It's starting 2.4 degrees to the right and then gearing back. And it is finishing 19 yards left. So it is borderline whether it's going to hit fairway or first cut rough, but well done anyway, because that's what it's designed to do. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Okay, it's time to go past gear effect. It doesn't take much. This is the one thing I will say about this driver. We'll do this bit first. So path, 0.6 from the inside, face 0.2 open. So tiny, tiny delivery numbers, absolutely tiny delivery numbers. However, 6 mil high, no problem. 22 mil toe, that is quite toey. That's nearly an inch off the toe from geometric middle. The problem is, it's now got to a point at 22 mil, and the Stealth, and whether it's all Taylormade, I don't know. I'd have to go test every single one independently and try and hit them off the exact same point. But you get to a certain point where gear effects just dramatically drops off the planet. So it works really well, works really well. Wow, where's that's gone right? This one finished 38 yards, nearly 40 yards right from a 22 mil strike. Now, the delivery is good, but this strike has meant that it's gone slightly past what gear effect is capable of doing. It has just opened the face up from the strike and it is not gearing back. If anything, it's starting right, going right, finishing 40 yards. So depending on where your miss is, guys, keep an eye out on, you need to understand where you're missing, because if it's past a certain point, I mean, you can move the weight at the back, but I don't think it's not 22 mil. Anyway, right, so next one, 0.2 path, out to in, 0.9 face. So we're talking again, very, very small numbers, less than a degree in it when it comes to path and face to path. 0 mil high, 20 mil toe. So the one before was 22, this one is 20, 2 mil difference, and gear effect is working. Now, the interesting thing on this one, that's 2 mil, the difference between working and wow, that's gone right. The interesting thing on this one, that because I hit 0 high, if I'd hit higher on the face, where twist face works better, high toe, it would have started further out to the right and it ended up 15, 16 yards left. If I'd hit it 5, 6 mil higher, hit the twist face, that would have been closer to target. So it's only the fact that I didn't high toe it that it didn't work better. But that's where I struck it, and there you go. So guys, if you know your strike pattern, So when it comes to the physical forgiveness of the old girl, she does an exceptionally good job, especially the heel strike. So that was amazing how well it did. Some of the toes done exactly what I'd want it to do, considering how toey they were. But I was worried the fact that if you're going to go to 22, the drop off that you see between 20 and 22 mil, in this case, it will be different for everybody potentially, but I have found just on my data sets that there is a dramatic point of where it works brilliantly to where you've gone so far past forgiveness, and it doesn't have to be a lot. It seems to be like 2 millimeters difference, where gear effect don't work, the face will just whack open straight away and that's gone right, and by 40 yards. If you wanted something, if your strike, say, was going far more worse than what we're seeing here, you would have to look at something like a ping. But then again, you're not going to potentially get the ultimate distance that you could do, because the TM potentially will go longer. It's a bit more of a peaky driver and you have got the distance. And now, if I want to dial the speed up, this thing will, I mean, they can go 290. I think I caught one at 294. If I look at the data on there, and I'm pretty certain higher up on the data set, I nearly caught one 300 just by, right, I'm going to hit this one middle, I'm going to hit this one hard, as in like better dynamics to try and get the maximum out of something from a given swing speed. It's a very versatile driver. It is a very good performing driver. It worries me a little bit from the amateur golfer from the point of miss hits. It works very well on certain ones, but again, we're talking about physics, guys. If you're going to make something forgiving one end, unfortunately, one hand giveth, the others taketh away. And unless you're going to increase the weight of the head dramatically, like a ping, to a certain extent, ping are, generally speaking, quite heavy heads, and they've got that massive 26 gram, whatever it is, weight at the back. If you're going to go that design, yeah, it's going to be forgiving. It may not be the longest, but generally speaking, we're talking about amateur golfers. Yeah, they know hit the middle every single time. So anyway, hope you liked it, guys. If you did, one of them, thumbs up. Thank you, down below. Next to it, little subscribe button, little red one. Thank you. Click that one. That'll do, Ruffy. And next to that one, there is a little bell icon. If you click that one, that'll let you know next time I upload another video. So I hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.